Okay, here we are for round one. Looks like we lost the roll, so most likely going to be on the draw. Yep, and we are on the draw. Definitely happy with this hand. Hopefully we can get Angelic Destiny online. And if we can pick up our second blue, we should definitely be in a good place. So at this point, I might just end up bouncing his early play just to give us a little bit of time to develop. Just kind of depending on what he plays here. Looks like he did miss the land drop. So the unsummons are going to be very powerful. And happy to see the double blue. And then hopefully we can have just the Griffin just go the distance. So it looks like it's going to be a mirror match here, blue-white. Most likely putting the opponent on cancel at this point. So I still think here we are going to go ahead and run out the Fleet Wing. If we get the Fleet Wing online, then we could have Unsummoned backup and then safely be able to put the Angelic Destiny here. Otherwise, we could run out the Griffin first to see if he bounces it, or actually to see if he counters it. That way giving us free reign to drop down the Fleet Wing and then attach the Destiny to it. So it could go either way. I think I'm actually going to go ahead and drop the Griffin down here, try to bait out the counterspell. So we could drop down Fleetwing and just get ready to set up the Destiny for the turn after that, which I think is fine. That way we can still feign the mana leak. And then if he taps out for something, we'll have the free reign to drop down the Angelic Destiny. We will take a little bit of damage. He does have red, so potentially could have Bloodthirst, but I think we have so many bounce options that it is still going to be just a fine, it's still going to be a fine play. Even if he has the Bloodthirst, we can just bounce the creature. And hopefully we can get him to tap out of counter mana. Now he probably would have countered the Peregrine Griffin if he had the counter earlier. He's only drawn a few cards since then. So now we are in a very good spot to just go ahead and drop down Destiny, keep the Unsummoned back up. And we can just really use our Unsummons quite liberally just to keep the board clear. Unfortunately, Oblivion Ring will answer that. Pretty much one of his only outs to our Angelic Destiny there. So here we're just going to go ahead and drop the Griffin pre-combat just to make sure we can get it to stick. Yeah, definitely going to go ahead and unsummon that, so we should be just fine. And actually, if he doesn't even play a creature, we can just go ahead and Aether Adept it. But I mean, we want to replay it next turn, so let's see. We'll have 3, we'll have enough. He may have the mana leak, so it might be worth unsummoning it, just in case. But if we play the Aether Adept, then we'll have an additional blocker for the Aether Adept on his side. So it could kind of go either way there. I think the real answer is I don't want to get blown out by mana leak, so I think here I'm just going to go ahead and unsummon. Like this way, if he's got the mana leak, we still have backup. So he does have the negate. Okay. So now we can safely Aether Adept it, get the body out there, and then have enough mana to do both. And we can still have the unsummon backup, just in case he has the second mind control or something insane like that. Druidic Satchel. Definitely not happy to see that. So if we had taken the thief, we could have, boarded in at this point, but I think we're still happy with the picks we made in our draft. So now we're just really hoping to draw into another one of our potential auras here to really turn Thran Golem online. What we could do is we could, just send in with Peregrine Griffin, or I'm sorry, send in with the Fleetwing, potentially trade with one of his guys. So just hoping to draw either like our Divine Favor, we could potentially pick up Spirit Mantle would help here. A lot of decent options. Bell Tower Sphinx, okay. Definitely not what we wanted to see there. Deuce definitely still have outs, and that is certainly one of them. Okay, so let's see how he's going to split it up for us. Not a bad split. Unfortunately, a lot of these cards don't really do anything at this point. I mean, yes, we can bounce this guy and push. So they, do something, but we really wanted to see like an aura or something like that. It's giving us the option of Aether Adept or the Auramancer in the Fleetwing. And I think because we already have the Unsummon, the other two creatures might be a little bit better for us. I think we're just going to take these instead. Now we could hang on to the Auramancer here, but I think it's actually going to be a little bit better for us to just, play it out. This way, we can get a nice big push next turn with the Unsummon, bounce the Bell Tower Sphinx, and just bash in. And especially before the Lawkeeper becomes active, we really need to make our move. So let's see, on the backswing, he can really push in for a decent amount of damage. Let's see what we've got coming up here. Reinforcements is actually not bad, considering what we need to do. Veteran is okay. I think reinforcements might actually be kind of what we're looking at doing here. Even though we're even on life, I think just the extra guy will really kind of allow us to, attack pretty decently. Alright, so at this point, and now we're happy to trade Thran for 2 Saplings and a Lawkeeper. Certainly happy to make that trade. Kind of surprised by his blocks here. I mean, he's still, well, let's see, he takes 9, goes to 3. Could potentially on his upkeep use the ability go to 5. I guess that's okay. So with Incinerate back up, gonna make it a little bit harder, but still in a pretty good place. So let's see, next turn, let's see, he potentially either makes a guy or gains 2 more life, goes to 5. Taps down our Sphinx. We attack with everybody. He's going to replay the Bell Tower Sphinx. Okay, so even if he uses Incinerate, now he's got to keep 1 up to tap. So tap here. Block, block, block. Still hit him for 5. Yeah, that's game. Oh, so he actually block, block, block. This guy will be dead. Well, no. Yeah, he can either tap the Sphinx or kill the Thran Golem, so he taps the Sphinx. Yeah, that's it. Unless he has a pretty impressive trick here, it should be game. Otherwise, uses the Satchel, goes to 5, blocks 4 guys. That's these 4 here. Still takes, yeah. All right. That should do it. Alright, so for game 2, against red, blue, white, probably splashing for Fireball and Incinerate would be my guess. Probably bring in Harbor Servant. Let's see what else here. Could potentially bring in Negate. I mean, we saw Negate. What else did we saw? We saw Negate, we saw Satchel, we saw Incinerate. So Cancel is probably a decent board. We could also bring in Turn to Frog for his 2/5. But I mean, I think we have enough bounce, we don't really care about that, and the Frost Breath. So let's see, what are we worried about seeing from him? We don't want to see Satchel. Didn't really see anything too impressive, so we bring in Harbor Serpent. Probably can cut the Ponder. Could bring in Cancel. What do we cut, though? I suppose we could probably cut, like, maybe Frost Breath? Not sure if I want to do that. Like, we still have Dave. I think this is fine, honestly. Let's leave it like this. I mean, I suppose we could cut, like, maybe Banalish Veteran to bring in Cancel. Might be a little better. We've got a pretty big 3-drop slot. Possibly even leave in the Ponder to make sure that, we get the mana at the right time. Could really kind of go either way. I think Veteran's going to be good enough, though. I'm not too worried about it. Like, he does have the Fleet Wings and still should be able to do some damage.